Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Millionaires, future millionaires, it's good to have you. My name's Andrew, your guide to financial freedom. We're here to talk about all things real estate, investing, personal finance, the psychology of money, and today we're going to talk about why you need to budget, why you need to reduce your expenses, and why you need to save money to have the best life possible. Stick around. Why should we do that, you say? Well, a couple different reasons. It's going to allow you to be better prepared for the future. It's going to make you less stressed when emergencies come up, and it's going to set you up for an ideal life and the best life you can possibly have. Stick around, we'll go over the 3 steps on how to do that. Hopefully you get something beneficial from this video. I think you will. If you enjoy this content, think about tossing a like and subscribe. We'll be talking about all things personal finance, investing, the psychology of money, and how to make your life better. Reducing your expenses. Look at the breakdown of the 3 big things: housing, food, and transportation usually. If you take public transit, that might be a smaller one than some of your other expenses, but usually your mortgage or your rent, eating for you and your family, and transportation, you know, your gas, your insurance for your car payment, tires, maintenance, things like that. So you want to take a look at how much you're spending for each of those things, and then think for yourself, is this a reasonable amount of money that I'm spending on all these? Usually you want your housing costs to be the largest of those expenses at around 20 to 30% of your income. So if you're making, $1,000 a month, you'd want to keep your housing around $300. If you're able to keep it under that $300 level, you're usually able to save more money, but once you hit anywhere between that 30% or $300 amount and up, it gets very difficult to save money. If your housing cost is half of your income, that really doesn't leave you a lot of room for anything else like saving, reducing your expenses, or other things like that. So that's what I encourage people to look at first. So reducing your housing costs can be done in a couple different ways. You can rent out a room if you have a house or an apartment, something like that. You can try and live somewhere cheaper if you're able to move at the end of your lease or if you're paying month to month. And other than that, potentially staying with family, friends, things like that, it's probably your only bet. When I first got out of college, I moved into a house with, I think, 5 other people. So we were able to split a 4-bedroom house with 5 people. We had one guy that was kind of in the couch in the living room area, and worked out okay. But by doing that, I was able to get my housing expense down to like $200 to $300 a month. So at the time I wasn't making a lot of money. I think maybe $2,000 or so after taxes take home. But my housing cost was so low at $300 a month, I was able to pay off student loans at a higher rate. I was able to save money aggressively, and I was able to do other things. And that required sacrifice. So if you're going to reduce your housing expense, it's usually going to come with some kind of sacrifice, either sharing your space with somebody else, or maybe not living in the nicest area. I'd still recommend living in a safe area. Don't jeopardize your safety or anything like that, but it doesn't have to be the newest, most modern apartments with washer and dryer in unit. Many a time I took my clothes to the laundromat and paid to have it done. Not the most fun, but again, it saved me so much money when my coworkers are paying $1,200 for a condo right down the street, and I'm saving $900 compared to them a month, and able to use that to either build my emergency fund, or to save, or to invest, whatever it is you want to do with that. Another way to reduce your expenses is by not eating out, by cutting the entertainment spending of going out 2, 3, 4 nights a week, getting drinks, things like that on the weekend. When I was in college, I would spend probably $10, $20 on the weekends, maybe a little more depending, and it adds up over time. If you're going out every week or every other weekend, it takes a toll on your bank account. And you have some drinks, you have some fun, you make memories, but it doesn't help you build that solid financial future. Is it really fun and worth it to go get drinks when you have $600 in your account and you're worried about, well, you're probably not worried while you're drinking, but you're thinking the next week, man, I really shouldn't have done that. I bought, a round for everybody, and I'm down $80. So, reducing drinking while you're out, eating out, entertainment stuff that's not essential, shopping, Amazon and purchases that you don't really need, things like that. All that can help you reduce your expenses and start building up that emergency fund so that you have money saved, or money that you can invest and have your money be working for you rather than just being spent by you. Another way to reduce your expenses is to look at that bank statement and see what subscriptions do I have that I'm not using. I know for one that I have an Xbox Live subscription that I haven't been using really for months. I need to cancel that. In fact, maybe I'll do that later today. Look back through, see those subscriptions that you have, and see if they're still worth it to you and if you're using them. If you're not using them, cancel them. That's money that's taken out of your account every month, and it's usually such a small amount that you don't notice it, and it happens every month. But companies get rich off of those small little amounts that we take for granted and we don't really remember. Netflix didn't get as big as it is by charging $300 a month. It got there by charging $5, $10, $15 a month to a massive amount of people. So evaluate your subscriptions. See if those are useful for you. See if you're still utilizing them. If not, cancel them. You can also look at cheaper phone plans. Phones, everyone has a phone these days, cell phone pretty much. They're usually $500 to $1,000. So get cheaper phones and get on a phone plan with other people. You can get on a family plan with 4 people at Verizon for $200 a month. So $50 a piece for 4 lines, unlimited data, unlimited talk, text, whatever. You're not gonna find a better deal than that for the most part. I know people that are paying $200, $300, $400 for phone plans that have 1 or 2 people on them, just because they haven't decided, hey, I'm gonna get some friends and get on a family plan, or I'm gonna talk to my family and get us all on one together. Don't be paying that much for phones, and don't be buying the newest iPhone every year. Like I know it's nice to have that stuff, but if you don't have that emergency fund, retirement set up, and a lot of disposable cash, you shouldn't be buying a $1,000 phone. You shouldn't be buying a $1,500 flip phone. I used the iPhone 5C for 5 years until I finally upgraded and got the iPhone SE2 for $200. They had a sale going on, and I was like, yeah, I'll pay $200 for a new phone. But before that, the last new phone I had bought was an iPhone 5C. Think about 5, 6, 7 years ago, and that thing lasted forever. You don't need to buy a new iPhone each year. It's just going to eat away at that money that you could be saving and could be investing to get yourself secure. Is having a new iPhone with a 4K display and a widescreen lens worth it if you start freaking out when you drop it and crack the screen, or you have to use it with a broken screen for 2 years because you can't afford to get it fixed? Delayed gratification. Is it worth it to sacrifice some things in the short end to be able to have more in the long end and to have financial security? If you're here, I'm guessing so. Budgeting. I'm sure this is everyone's least favorite step. I know it was mine. I put off making a budget or looking at my expenses for years. 1, 2, 3, honestly, I don't know how many years, but a long time. And during that time, my money went wherever my money went. Eating out, yep. Unnecessary expenses, clothes, everything. Yeah, I have no idea, If you don't know where your money is going, well, then you don't have control over your life. You don't have control over your money. Your money's in charge of that. Your credit card is in charge of that. Whatever you're spending your money on is in charge of your life. You need to know where that money is going and have your money work for you. You can't do that if you're spending 60% of your money on housing, 30% eating out, and 20% on travel and spending, because that leaves you this much. And you can't build an emergency fund with that much. You can't save for retirement. You can't have a relaxing life. You're going to be stressed. So I know you guys are going to hate it, but you need to budget. You need to look at your balance sheets on your bank statements, or you need to set up an app like one of the ones in the description below. Personal Capital or Mint.com, both are really helpful and can integrate into your banking software. And I know it's scary. I know that not knowing and not looking is so much better. Ignorance is bliss, and I live that life. And honestly, yeah, at times I'm more stressful now knowing that I spent money on things that I shouldn't have, or that I spent more than I brought in this month, if we have a emergency expense or something like that. But it is definitely less stressful than not having money in my bank account, or not knowing how much, or having my card declined. I haven't had my card declined in, well, probably since around the time I wasn't budgeting and didn't know when my money was coming in or going out. But yeah, that's not a good feeling, having a card decline, having to use a different one or something like that, or not having enough money to take someone out to eat, or to buy your kids a gift. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't make you feel good about yourself. And I want to help you not be in that position. My goal is to have you guys have a firm and stable financial footing that allows you to plan for life, feel good, and have a positive future. And the first step to that, and one of the easiest steps, is knowing where your money is going. And to do that, you got a budget. Realistic goals. You want to set yourself up for success. You're going to be going through this budgeting process, this seeing where you can cut expensive stuff, and you're going to be stressed out from that. You're going to be thinking, wow, I have either not enough money, or I'm spending too much, a variety of things. So setting yourself up for success with realistic goals is essential. You want to set up a savings percentage or a savings amount that is reachable each month by you. That could be $10, that could be 20% of your income, whatever that is. It's personal. It's called personal finance because it's about you, your individual situation, and what's going on. In the next video, I will go over what my personal goals are and what my personal savings rates are. Happy to go over that stuff with you guys, open book, and it's a road and it's a journey, and we can be on it together, trying to always improve. The best thing you can do is to start today. It would have been great to start 20 years ago. None of us has a time machine. At least I don't. If you do, you should probably be utilizing it for a variety of things, scamming the stock market, gambling, etc. But I don't think that's the case. So let's set ourselves up for success, not failure. Let's try and set up realistic 10 to 20% savings goals, reducing our expenses by maybe 10 to 20%, and starting on this journey to where in a year from now, you'll have money saved up, you'll have your emergency fund totally funded, and you'll be saying, yeah, my life's relaxing. I have $10,000, $20,000 in the bank, however much you want to save. And now what's next? Do I want to start investing? Do I want to start looking at real estate? Do I want to buy a house? What is it that's next in my journey? And to each person, that's individual. I, for one, want to be able to buy a house someday, hopefully soon. I would like to eventually get into real estate and have rentals, but that's further down the road. Maybe for you, that goal is getting your credit score good enough or high enough to have a awesome rate car loan. Getting a car loan at 2 to 4% interest rate rather than what the dealer offers you at 10. Whatever your goals are, I'm here to help you. Let me know in the comments what I can cover if you have questions. I appreciate you guys liking and subscribing to this content. Hope you guys stick around. I'll be making new videos every week. Thanks.